Welcome back to Let's Talk About It with Xavier Fox. I am your host, Xavier Fox. I am so excited today to have the Love Team on the show. How are y'all doing today? Come on and talk to me.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey, there you go. It's the Love Team.
It's the love team. I love that.
love it.
You got some love to share. So you came on to talk about some things you have coming up. So I'm going to let y'all have the mic and I'll just pop in with some questions.
All right. Hey, Doretha.
Hey, Rita. Hey, Xavier.
Hey, lady, how you be?
Girl, I'm just excited about what we have going on. It's taken a bit of a little more preparation into it, but I'm real excited about it.
Well, you always want it to be right. You don't necessarily want it to be
Yeah.
fast. You want it to
You
be
don't
right.
want it to be rushed.
Right.
You want it to
Exactly.
be right.
Yeah, and you wanted to make a difference. And I believe the package that we have, what we're doing, it's actually what's needed.
hmm
Okay, so you guys are planning like an matchmaking type event. Tell us about your matchmaking process.
Okay. You want me to do that, Doretha?
Yes, Rita.
You'd be so funny. So let me first say that all of us are Master Force Life coaches.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yay. And so one of the processes that methodologies that we teach in our course is in regards to the destiny cards and the love cards. And we actually assist people in becoming clear about who they are and their purpose in life. And we use the cards to help guide and direct them. And then we show them how to use it for themselves, right? So recently, we've been watching these matching love shows, Married at First Sight and Ultimatum and all that. And what we saw that was missing was they don't know how they're lined up in astrology.
Mhm. Right.
Right. They don't know. And even if you have some idea of an individual's personality and what they're doing with that energy, you can almost be a little bit more aware of them and not so shocked by what they do. Like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But then if you know that that's who they are, like I'm a fire rooster. Anybody who knows I'm a fire rooster knows that I'm going to be cocky as hell. That's just what I'm the cock, right? But I know how to tone it down because I'm surrounded by a bunch of leaders, right?
Right.
So we're actually using this process. We're using the cards, and it's based on your birthday, not the year, just your birthday. And we look at the cards, and then we see based on, I believe we use the first five strongest attractions, how you match up with someone else's birthday.
Mhm.
And then we're going to actually work with those people who are a match. And that's why Doretha and I are looking at doing a 2 or 3 event style, because in that first event, we kind of like match up the people, introduce folks, tell them about the methodology. And then in the next one, we actually have the couples tell us, what's been going on, how it's worked. And I think on the final one, we're trying to see who's going to last, who's going to actually fulfill on actually being in a relationship. And with that, we're looking at doing some gift giving. Am I right,
Yeah.
Doretha?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so as you find how would a couple, or not a couple, how would a single person that wants to be involved in this matchmaking, this deeper form of matchmaking, how would they, participate in this?
Well, one of the things that we're actually creating, and that'll be done today, is we're creating a group called Destiny. What is it? A Date with
A day with
Destiny?
destiny.
Yes. And so we'll put that out, and people joining the group, if they're in the group, when we actually have the event, they'll probably receive a discount for the tickets, right? But
Mhm.
once they're in the group and we do some initial processing to see how serious they are, because this is not You know, this is not for folks who just want to date around and play. We're looking for people who are ready to find their soulmate. I'm so glad you said that, Xavier.
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
We're looking for serious people only. We're not looking for folks who just want to dabble, you know.
So what if somebody comes to you and say it's a woman like myself that might come in and say, well, okay, I know you got these cards, but I want a man that's 6'2", that's kind of thick like a football player, maybe chocolate and bald. That's what I'm attracted to. What you gonna tell me?
I'm going to tell you that you've probably missed out on a lot of great relationships because you're stuck on a superficial description of relating to people.
Yes. Yes.
And so what about those who say, well, I don't want a woman with kids. I don't want somebody who smokes.
So that I would tell them the exact same thing, because here's what's real. The universe is absolutely generous with us. Absolutely generous with us. So a lot of times what we're resisting, the thing that's right in front of our face or right there, what we're resisting is exactly the gift that the universe is trying to bestow on us. And here's the thing, you still get to choose, but if you don't allow yourself to be receptive to the gift, you never know.
Right.
So that's part of it. Part of it is, you don't have to be with someone that we match you up with, but you're not going to play with them. We're not going to let you lead them on and pretend with them. We're going to work with the couples basically right out the gate to make sure that people are safe, that folks aren't playing with them, and we're not into, oh, let me just fool around. We're not doing that with this. This really is the work.
Okay. And so in watching, I watched those shows too. I just watched Ultimatum. I was just cracking up.
I know, me too. My son was like, "Mom, you got to look at this."
That other one is it called Treasure Island or some kind of island?
I haven't seen that one.
It's some kind of island, and they have these couples go on there, and then they have a whole group of single people and they separate the couples, and they put the men in one house and the women in another house, and they bring in singles that have been matched with those people, those couples, those people from the couples. So all of the men from the couples, the women that they put in the house with them, have the characteristics that they've said they're looking for or maybe missing in their current relationship. And they stay over there with them, and the same with the women. But what I've noticed on some of these shows, and I heard one girl, and she recognized it when she watched herself on the show. She said, I realized I was the problem. Yep. So what about those people who come and they don't realize yet that they are actually the problem? It's not that they haven't found someone. They've probably found someone, but they are really the problem. They are argumentative. They are defensive. They don't trust people. What are you going to do when those people come and they say they're serious about a relationship, but once you talk to them, it's like, nah, you can't be, because
Well, I believe we're going to offer a service for marriage prep, helping people to prep or relationship prep. Are you ready for a relationship? So for people who are not, who you can't match them up because they're just so turned off. Listen, folks have issues from childhood that they don't even know are still running their life. They don't even know themselves at the level of adult. Most of them are, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 9-year-olds living like they're grown folks. And that's all you hear them say, I'm grown. And so can't nobody, no one can tell them anything. We have a whole coaching team, a whole slew of Master Force coaches. And at least probably 10 of those are actually relationship coaches. And they can support them in developing the skills that they need, or just even support them in doing the work to heal their heart. Again, most folks are closed down because they don't want to be hurt. And here's the real thing about that. When you shut yourself off from life, You're not just shutting other people off, but you're stagnating yourself. And life just doesn't work like that. Life is always progressive, always moving forward. And if you're not willing to take your hand off the steering wheel and allow life to guide you, then you know that this process isn't for you. That's for sure. You know, this is for people who are ready to just really get into their life and discover love for themselves and for other people.
And so
Is that go ahead?
okay. What made you want to do an event like this, you know, versus, you know, because there's lots of dating sites and singles events, but this is a little bit different. And so what made you want to do an event like this?
I would make because I coach and I work with so many couples and have worked that had they known their mate, right? Had they known their mate beforehand and studied the relationship and who they're related to, they would have actually created a different relationship with that person, or they may not have chosen that person, right? Because literally, who, you know, people keep talking about representatives and all that. That it's not that they're representatives. These are people who don't know themselves. These are people who have not accepted their shadow as part of their personality. They're still pretending that they're not a bitch. Really? You don't know you're a bitch? Really? You know, you got to be able to be a beauty and a bitch in this world, because otherwise people will step over you, right?
Yes.
So we literally saw that folks were not in tune with themselves before they got in relationships. So this is one of those places where we saw if we could introduce them to the love cards. And we also, you know, I do a course called Couple Schools, you know, where we go through different steps for people to look at what are the goals? Do you have a goal? Is it just marriage? Some people just want to get married. That's not a reason to be with somebody.
Right.
That's not just to put the ring on a hand. There is so much more to that. And there's so many things that you need to determine what's going to be your happiness, because that other person is not the reason for your happiness. You have to be happy on your own and bring that to the relationship.
Yes.
Right. So we actually wanted to be of service. We wanted to support people in being in love, staying in love, finding love, you know, and growing in love. If we can do that, we can actually support our children better. Our children are the ones that get left out of this equation, because you have people coming into relationships and have kids and then they just leave. They're gone, they're done. And now the child has to deal with their own scars. So they're not into productivity, they're into surviving. They're not into loving, they're into constricting and protecting themselves. Oh, my daddy left me, so I gotta be safe. You see that? We want to change that. And the only way we can change that is by giving people other tools to work with.
Yes.
Darika, did you have a question for me? I heard you say my name.
No, I didn't have a question.
Oh, okay. So my next question, because I heard, Ms. Rita, I heard you say that they were going to be safe. So are you doing background checks? Are you doing credit checks? You know, what?
No, I don't mean that kind of safe. I'm talking about the spiritual safe. I'm talking about the oracle cards. I'm talking about, yeah, right. I'm talking about the, you know, right. I'm talking about the other part of that, because our thing is not necessarily sending people on dates as much as it is having people get to know each other. You know, we'll do Zoom work with them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of steps that you need to take before you engage with people.
Right.
You know, the first thing is not, oh, you know, I hear people, I still hear people talking about one night stands. I'm like, that hasn't played out yet.
You know, it's interesting that you talked about one night stands, because I don't know if you know, but on Sunday, I'm doing a podcast on evolving to what? because when you listen to people talk, especially the younger people, they are pretty quick to say, well, not just the younger people, the late 30s, early 40s, they're like, relationships are evolving. So the traditional outlook of relationships is void at this point. So we're evolving, but then we're talking about, marriages are decreasing. We're talking about some of this gender war type thing that's going on. We're talking about, questions like, what do women have to offer other than sex? Is marriage beneficial to men? So as we explore what relationships, what are we evolving to? Evolving to what is going to be my question on Sunday. And so how would you answer that question? What do you see?
That's really cool, because we actually did a one of our Ignite Your Soul connections, I want to say back in 2012, 2013. It was relationships in the age of Aquarius. And we talked about how different, now that we're moving more into the age of Aquarius, we're noticing that you have different needs in different relationships. And there may be a person that has multiple relationships with people, but they don't always have to be sexual. You may have a person, I may have a person that's my business partner. So we spend a lot of time together. I may have another person that I'm like an escort, because when he goes someplace, he likes to have me with him, right? But that doesn't mean that that's an intimate relationship. Or it could be that you're helping somebody work through a life trauma, so you spend time together. Now, in those type of situations, to anybody, it could look like, man, she a player. I used to laugh because men used to come in and out my back door all the time. And I say, I bet people say, man, that's the biggest hoe on this block.
Oh, that's bad.
That's, I could care less what people thought, because I knew what was going on. But I used to think it was like funny. That. Say what?
I said, it's bad that people judge like that. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but they do. People don't know what's going on. And subsequently, that's what keeps people from being themselves, worried about being judged.
Yep.
And so then, I've told you before on one of your shows, the importance of what I think polygamy relationships would be for in our community, because you have these single mothers with these children. And then you have married couples with big mansions and houses, and their children is grown and old or gone, right? So why not adopt this family? It doesn't have to be a sexual relationship, but you can help this mother, because she still has to work. The kids are there, everybody in the same house. And if it develops into something other than that, everybody needs to be above board and talk about it. People need to be coached through those type of situations, because all of this, that when they talk about evolving, it needs to be in the idea of a spiritual evolution, because that's what's missing in relationships. The spiritualness, not the religion, but the spiritual. People talking about submission and all of that is religion. All of that is dogma. When you have true love and true relationships, and you're both surrendered to those aspects in yourself, that relationship will actually manage itself.
So let me ask you another question. We're just a little bit off of talking about the matchmaking, but another conversation I want to have is, does commitment equal ownership? That was actually a question I was going to pose today. And what's your thoughts? Because, oftentimes when people get in relationships, now you're my man, you're my woman, and now I have expectations of how you're going to behave and carry yourself. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely not. I mean, who can own you? I mean, really, who can own anybody, right? Now, let's be real. Commitment does mean loyalty. It does mean faithfulness. It does mean integrity. So if I'm actually committing to being in this relationship, this person deserves the utmost character that I have. That's why you have to get to know people, because they may not have the character that you think they have going into a relationship. So if I'm in a relationship, and the best book, and this is the one that we'll use in our preparing people for marriage, the best book is Spiritual Partnerships, right? Spiritual Partnership by Gary Zukav. And a few years ago, about 10 years ago, I did a weekly goddess circle with this book, working with women who were preparing for relationships, just to get clear, because a lot of times women have a jealousy or insecurity about their mate, and they don't know how to deal with that. And he guides people through talking about it. How do you address this in a way that's loving and peaceful, so I can hear you say, yeah, I was attracted to her, but I wasn't going to go beyond that. How did that make you feel? And now, you go through saying whatever that was, that in itself creates a different relationship with your mate. Right. Because you're able to be intimate in your conversation. Intimacy is more than just sex.
Yes.
About being able to be vulnerable, being able to give yourself and feel safe. That's what I mean about safe.
Okay.
Being able to give your all, knowing that the other person is just as invested in you as you are in them.
Okay. Well, I asked those questions because I wanted the listeners and potentially people who may want to participate in this as they're looking for their soulmate to just get a little background on your outlook on relationships and how things flow, because you always want to know about the person that you're dealing with. It's that trust, is developing that relationship and that trust. Doretha, what you got to say on this?
And I was gonna say I'm piggybacking off of Doretha's love forum. That's how I got involved in this, just so you know.
Okay. Well, tell us more about the love forum then. So this is where it originated.
Yeah, the love forum is something that I kind of been doing since 2015. The thing is, I definitely had it in my heart to work with singles quite a bit, because the love forum would attract a lot of singles and a lot of people that want to meet people. So I just figured, in light of the world kind of opening back up and we've been shut down for so long, that we have a singles event, because everybody been asking, when are you going to have a singles event? Then a couple of people reached out to me about or suggestion that I do some sort of matchmaking. So me and Rita kind of we kind of got together on this thing, because it's a passion for both of us. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm more involved in the production of the show that's developing, the pilot of it, A Date with Destiny. So I'm more geared towards that. So together we'll do these singles events and these matchmakings, and we looking to change it, to change everything with this, because I had my own experience with the love cards. And so when she mentioned that to me, I was like, yes, because I know that this would be on point. I mean, just on point. So it seemed like the universe definitely wanted us to do this.
Okay. And so for the people out there listening, and I'm sure we're going to share this recording all over the place, how do they participate? Again, you said you're going to have a group. And what is that group called?
The group will be...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
The group will be called A Date with Destiny.
Okay. And will it just be on Facebook, or will it be on other social media platforms as well?
We'll probably expand it. We'll start with Facebook, and we'll expand it to some of the other social media.
Okay. And what are the qualifications to join? Of course, you have to be single. Do you have any age requirements or anything like that?
Over 30.
Okay, so this is for the over 30.
Mhm.
Is there going to be a form or questionnaire that they fill out, or is this just strictly going to be based on the date of birth?
It'll be, well, we'll start off with actually, you know how before you join the group, you have to answer specific questions.
Yep.
So we'll have those in there because we really want to qualify people. You know, again, this is not a dating service. This really is a preparing marriage, right? So it's not like
Right.
you're gonna find somebody, date somebody this week and then date somebody next week kind of thing, right?
Right.
We're looking for permanent hookups. Maybe that's our tagline, permanent hookups.
Early hookups. And so, Doretha, you mentioned the show. Tell me about that real quick.
Well, the show, like I said, it'll be a pilot that we are, trying to see if we can push it off into a show. So this Date with Destiny will become a pilot show. So we're looking to film this, show in hopes of somebody big picking it up, because it's something different.
Okay, that sounds good. Oh, Miss Rita, the name of that show is Temptation Island. It just came to me.
Okay, guys, I gotta give me a minute. I gotta get my groceries right quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to write that down, because that was an even bigger performance from Ultimatum. That was pretty good. All right, so it is 1:57. Do you have any final words for us?
Is Rita gone?
She going to get her groceries, so you gonna do our
Okay.
final words.
Well, like I said, we're looking to introduce people into, the whole process of love. We just need to develop a different way, and if we know what's ahead of us as far as some relationships is concerned, like Rita say, we might not have gotten involved. So it's just good to know.
Okay. All right. So we will be looking forward to it. This show will be available on the website, and I will share it so that you guys can pick it up and share it on all of your social media platforms as well. So everybody look out for the Facebook group, A Date with Destiny, and the event coming up. Any idea when you might have that first event?
Well, we're looking to have the first event. We're seeking dates now, so we're looking for next month. Because, like I said, we want to precast some people, so we're looking in between this month and next month to put it on. We're going through a process of casting now, so
Okay.
that's taking a little time. We want to put it together right. So.
All right, that sounds so exciting, and I sure hope I wind up on the show doing
I
something.
know that's right. You better come on then.
I want to be doing
Thanks
something.
for having us.
Oh, thanks for showing up.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate this platform.
Do you have any final words for us, Miss Rita?
Well, I just want everyone to really, if you yourself don't join us, on inside of A Date with Destiny, make sure that you let other people know to join us, because it really is important that we help ground our community. That's what this is. We're being of service to our community. And the first service that we could be is to establish strong couples that can establish strong families and produce happy children. And that in itself is what brings community together. Yes. So
I agree.
I'm here for you.
All right. So if you are single and looking for your soulmate and you're serious about it, and you may even want to know if you really are ready, maybe you have some things to work on as well. Make sure that you go to Facebook and look for A Date with Destiny so that you can get on that right path of finding your soulmate. Thank you, Miss Rita and Mr. Doretha, for joining me today on the show. And like I said,
all right, Dr. Fox, thank you.
This will be on the website, and I will share it with you guys so that you can share it all across social media.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Talk to you later, Doretha.
All right. Talk to you. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Guys. Peace.
Today is April 21st. If you are listening to a replay of this show, make sure you join us for the live shows on Mondays from 7 to 9 a.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 12 to 2. Well, we just wrapped up another great show with Eric Prince, And then the love team came on and got us real excited. Make sure you go to xavierfox.com/radio-show for the schedule for the month of April to see when your favorite personality or topic is scheduled. The What's Hot segment on Thursdays is an opportunity for event planners, event managers, promoters, performers, socialites, or just those out in these streets to rep your city as a correspondent on this show. Come on and share upcoming events, hot topics, celebrity gossip, movies to Netflix and chill with, or what's on your mind. We're looking for correspondents in Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, Miami, New York, New Orleans, LA, and Vegas. If you are interested, email me at xavierfox@xavierfox.com. Be sure to visit my YouTube channel, Xavier Fox Media, and click subscribe. You'll find the replays of the radio shows you've missed, my monthly podcast, and all the previous shows I've produced and hosted. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, and coming soon to Fanbase as Xavier Fox. That's XAV as in Victor, IAFOX, Xavier Fox. My book, The Men in My Life and What I've Learned, is available on Amazon in Kindle format and paperback. And you can purchase an autographed copy of my book on my website, xavierfox.com, along with t-shirts, coffee mugs, and information on all upcoming shows and events. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Tomorrow, I start the replays of your favorite shows. What shows have you missed? Tomorrow, you can catch my interview with Miss Elaine Gordon. She is an adult companion and sensual massage therapist. It was a great interview. I love her transparency. You can also catch the replay of The Psychology of an Affair with Khalid Scott, licensed marriage counselor, therapist, and social worker. So until tomorrow, stay safe and be prosperous, and I'm out.